Now I've come out to here to test the Z7. I thought I'd go to some of my favorite locations while having a coffee. Finally got out of the gallery, which is nice. Get out in the fresh air. A little bit windy, but it's not too bad. Now at the moment, the Z7 is actually shooting a 4K time-lapse in silent mode. And it's not making any noises, which is great. The screen is incredibly good. In bright sunlight, you can read it easy. It's very contrasty, very punchy, but very low reflection, I'd have to say. It's very, very good. Now, one thing I have noticed with the Z7 over my D850, both the same resolution, I would carry the Z7 much more than I would carry the D850, because the D850 gets quite heavy after a while walking around with it. This weighs nothing, basically. It's so light. I mean, I think it actually could be about the same weight as my M10P, which is a much smaller camera, and that's a street photography camera designed to walk around all the time. But this is more comfortable because it has this Nikon grip. The first thing I'd have to say to anybody, if you are a Nikon shooter, this is the mirrorless camera for you, 100%. It feels like a Nikon. As soon as you pick it up, I just feel at home. I know exactly where all the buttons are, and I know exactly what to do with it. Really, really good camera. If you're coming from another brand, it might not be the right camera for you. There are many brands out there now that do mirrorless. Canon's doing it, Sony's doing it, and now Lumix, Panasonic Lumix have the S1R and the S1 coming out early next year. So if you're a Micro Four Thirds shooter and you shoot with the Lumix system, that's going to be the full frame mirrorless camera for you. And it could actually be the full frame mirrorless camera for a lot of people. We still don't know 100% what the camera has, but from what I read and what I've heard, it seems like a pretty good camera. Now back to the Nikon. Sorry, I thought there was something creeping up behind me then. Don't know what that was. Anyway, right, back to the Nikon. The lens is really good. This is a 24-70 f4. I normally shoot 24-70 on the D850 full frame lenses, and that's normally a 2.8 lens. So this is one stop slower, but this does have the in-body stabilizer, which is a real benefit. It's a 72mm thread at the front. Like I said, it's a double piston system, so it's got two sections that come out, which sometimes can cause problems with dust coming in because there's more moving parts. And I'm actually going to do a long exposure later on. It's only 10:30, so around about 12 noon, really bright, I'm going to do a long exposure with a 10-stop ND filter on the front, and then we'll see if we get any light leak through the actual lens, and that normally shows how well the lens is built. If you get no light leak, then it's a really well constructed lens. Mavic 2 Pro, best drone you can buy, unbelievably good. I'm going to say that now and I'm going to crash the thing, no my luck. But anyway, while this is still shooting time lapse, I'm going to shoot some footage around here so we can overlay that the video, and then we'll get back to what happens after the time lapse. Okay, that didn't go to plan. There was like 20-30 birds just appeared from nowhere and started attacking the drone, so I brought the drone back. That didn't work very well. Initially this video was going to be out and about shooting with the Z7, but I made a couple of mistakes. First off, it's still the school holidays and everywhere is super busy because of the beautiful weather. And secondly, I was setting up the camera and I left my camera bag open. I turned around and somebody got extremely close to my camera bag, which worried me a little bit. So I've decided to pack everything away. I've just gone around taking some shots handheld with the Z7, and you're going to see them in a minute in a slideshow. Then I'm going to head back to the CAF and I'm going to be able to shoot a video there and give you a summary of what I think of the Z7. Is it worth the money? Is it the camera for you? I guess that's kind of your decision, but I will give you my thoughts on the camera.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights myself, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me.
So this was just a quick look at the camera, taken out and shooting with it. The time-lapse function works amazingly well on here. The screen is really easy to read in bright sunlight. It's not perfect, you're still going to get glare, but it's better than most screens that I've used. The back button focusing system works really well. It's a very comfortable camera and you can carry it all day long. It's very small. There's a huge difference between these two. Look, massive difference in weight. This is like half the weight. Same focal length. And the great thing with the Z7, I can fit all of my Nikon lenses on there. Now, the next video will be on how to back up the one card, you know, the one card that everybody talks about, the XQD card, out and about without a laptop or an iPad. I have a solution and it works really well actually. So that will be the next video. There will also be a video on the video of the camera. So I'm going to compare the video of this camera with the D850 and also the GH5. And I will also do another video of tracking with the Z7. Now I won't do the D850 because we're not even going to go down that road because it's terrible at tracking, and the GH5 and the GH5S, but to be truthful, those two are about the same. Also, what I'm asking you guys is I need a safe way to put images up online for you guys to download, because what I want to do is I want to shoot some underexposed raw photos from the Z7 and the D850, and I want to put the RAWs online that you guys can download directly. So then you can play around with them and see how much you can bring back from the shadows. And I'll also do some overexposed images, so the highlights as well. Because there's been a lot of comments online about how bad this sensor is compared to the D850 and how different it is. I can't really tell a difference, to be truthful, but somebody out there probably will. And I think the best way for you guys to find out is to do it yourself. Put the actual image into Lightroom or Photoshop and then go from there. So please leave me a comment below on the best place to put a file so you guys can download. I'm thinking Dropbox, but I'm not 100% sure on that, okay? I'm not tech savvy really in that way on the internet. So please leave me a comment below. But thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you again soon.